Okay, so statistics is just looking at a range of numbers and working out various things. Now, the first couple of terms that we want to look at is something called the median, which when we're looking at a range of numbers, it's just going to be the middle number. All right, literally the one in the middle when we organize it. So that is literally as simple as that. So if we have the number 10, 12, if we've got those 7 numbers, the median literally the one in the middle. All right, it splits it into 2 equally sized parts. So you can see that number in the middle, there's 3 on the left and 3 on the right. Now, all the numbers are numerical, so that's quite important as well. If there's an even amount of numbers, all right, so okay, the median will find itself between 2 numbers there. Okay, in that case, you need to add the 2 numbers together and divide it by 2 with essentially what's in the middle. So with 34 plus 37, which equals 71. And that would be divided by 2 to get 35.5. The median would be still split this row of numbers in half, all right, but it would fit between these 2 numbers. All right, so you would take one number plus the other one. All right, to find it in there. Now, quartiles. Are slightly different. It's when we split a row of numbers into 4 equal parts. All right, so the median was split it in 2, so we found the thing, found the number in the middle. Both, that was the median. Okay, but quartiles was split into 4. So there's 3 points of interest there. Okay, so one, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8. Okay. The median would be 11, right in the middle. All right, 10 plus 12 divided by 2 will get 1. In fact, you know something? It's going to be easier for ourselves. We already written that down. I'm going to take away one of the 18s. Yeah, median. Okay. That would be our lower quartile. And that would be our upper quartile. Okay, now that may also be written as Q1, Q2, Q3. Okay, so you see what I'm doing there? The median splits it perfectly in half. So those 7 numbers I'm splitting perfectly in half with that middle number. Now if I look to the left of that middle number, all right, I'm splitting that in half again. Splitting it right down the middle. And I'm doing the same on the right, upper and lower. Okay, now this allows me to do 2 things. Okay, and these 2 things are to look at the sort of variance, I suppose. This is to allow me to look at something called the inter-quartile range. Okay, which is essentially how far apart are the quartiles spread. Okay, so how far, with those range of numbers, how far are they spread? Is it quite a broad range? Okay, or something called the semi-interquartile range, which is essentially that number divided by 2. Now to find that interquartile range, which is shortened to IQR, we take Q3 and minus Q1. Q3 is 14, and we minus Q1, which is 9, which will give us 5. Okay, so we've split it up. We've got something called the interquartile range. Okay, we can also have the semi-interquartile range, which is just interquartile range divided by 2. Okay, so we'll do an example of that. Okay. So let's do 15. Usually quite a few, usually like 6 in total, but they build up. There's different parts of it. We'll go through a couple. 6, 7, 8. Okay. So remember they need to be in order. So median Q2 would be 20. Okay, so in between 20 and 20, 20. Q1 would be split into the 17 and 18 there. Okay, so 17.5. Q2 would be in here. Also Q3 would be in here, which would equal in between 22 and 23, so 23.5. The interquartile range is just how far Q3 and Q1 are away from each other. So interquartile range is 22.5. Oh, sorry, I'll make it really. Q3 minus Q1, which is 22.5 minus 17.5. Okay, and that is just 5. The semi-interquartile range is equal to the interquartile range over 2. So in this case, 5 over 2, which is 2.5. Honestly, it tells you very similar things. It tells you how far the things have spread. All right. Looks at how varied our sample is. By looking how spread out the numbers are. Is it? It looks at variability. All right, so it looks at variability. It looks at which comes into context when you've got a wee story behind it. All right, it allows you to compare different things. Okay, so you compare maybe the results of 2 different tests. All right, so say from your prelim, everyone gets 80, 90%, okay, up in that sort of range. I can compare the variability of paper 1 and paper 2 to see if it's more variable, it's more challenging. All right, I can look at some more people are being stretched out there. All right, there's more extremes to it, I suppose. Yeah, so by box plots, what you draw out is your lowest number, Q1, Q2, Q3, and then your highest number, that we would do it to the sort of scale. There's not a lot of past paper questions with box plots up, so we'll cover it after the question. Yeah, so we'll cover it after the prelim for just simple timing. But box plots essentially are just a way to illustrate that. All right, so a box plot would show you where Q1 sits, where the median sits, where Q3 sits, and essentially a box. And then it would spread further out and give you your highest number, lowest number. Right, so it's just an illustration of your quartiles essentially. That's how we look. Okay, so if you've got your booklet 3 available to you. All right, have a wee look at it. Okay, so on page 60. Page 60, they've got a couple of examples, okay? So for just A, B, and C, just quickly work through them. your median, lower quartile, upper quartile, and interquartile range. Okay, and throw in there the semi-interquartile range for the simple fact it came up on what past paper 2019, I think. Semi-interquartile range came up, which is just interquartile range divided by 2. All right, so okay, so last year's past paper, okay, asked you the median interquartile range of the readers in the sample. But the first thing you need to be doing is taking those numbers and organising them. All right, which these questions sometimes are quite time consuming, and that's maybe they're not difficult, you remember what to do, but they're sometimes quite time consuming because you need to go through all the numbers. So 31, what's the next one? 33, 35, 36, 38, 41, 41, 42, 47, and 55. All right. Just make sure you then count the numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, 10 numbers I've written down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Make sure, because it's so easy to miss one. All right. Median, we're looking for right in the middle. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the median is in between those two numbers, between 38 and 41. So you need to do 38 plus 41, and then divide that by 2 to get the median. So that would be 79. Should be 30. 5. All right, it's not the easiest. All right, so the median is there. The interquartile range is a wee bit easier. Okay, it's a straight number. So you've got your Q1 and 1, 2, 3, 2, 3.
Was confused. I'm getting a wee bit confused because I thought the median was 38 because that's in the middle.
So there's not, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, so in between 38 and 41 is the median. There's
Oh, so it is.
5 numbers on the left, 5 numbers on the right. It might just be the way I've written it out.
It's the way I've written it out.
Yeah.
It's the way I've written it out.
Just be careful with the spread of numbers and stuff. It's easy to throw you.
And see how the first quartile and the third one, is that always like the sort of second or third number in from the left or the right side?
No, it's dependent on how many numbers. So because there's 5 numbers there, the middle number is the third number. All right.
Right,
So
okay.
3 from the right, 3 from the left. It's right in the middle.
Okay.
All right. If there was 6, then it would be in between 2 numbers.
Okay.
All right. So interquartile range is Q3 minus Q1. 42 minus 35. That's 7. All right, so that's, they've just asked for interquartile. That's nice. Nice.
See if it actually looks like the decimal was written to bad button.
It's not really a bad bit.
Doesn't.
The next part of the question asks you to compare. So this is what, so it applies it to something. So in this case, we've got the ages of readers of a magazine. So those numbers actually mean something that's related to the ages of a reader. All right, and it's showing you the spread, how varied that readership is. All right, so it goes all the way from 31-year-old to 55-year-old. All right, so the median thrown in there at 39.5, and then you've got the spread that indicates how varied it is. all right? Now, those numbers are then used for comparison. So if we go back to the next part of the question. Okay, newspaper company also conducted surveys of its readers. Okay, so someone else has conducted a survey. The median sample was 41 and the interquartile range was 9. Okay, so it's asking you to compare the magazine from part A, which had a median and an interquartile range, so a median of 39.5 and an interquartile range of 7. Comparing that to the paper, newspaper, who's got a median of 41 and an interquartile range of 9. All right. So the newspaper has a higher median age. Okay, 41 is greater than 39.5. And it's got a higher spread of readership as well. So it goes wider. So it's 41, but it also spreads out a lot more. Okay. So you're looking at make 2 valid comments. You're making 1 comment about the median, and you're making 1 comment about the interquartile range. And you need to be quite specific in this regard. Don't just say the paper's bigger than the magazine. That doesn't tell you much. Or 41 is bigger than 39.5 without mentioning the paper and magazine. All right, so make sure you cover everything. All right, the newspaper has an older or larger median age at 41. Okay. One comment. Yeah. All right, so you can do that as well. 9 is greater than 7. So you're mentioning both the actual thing, okay, so paper against magazine, and you're mentioning the actual figures involved. Mention as much as you can to make valid comments. All right. If you read it back and the comment doesn't make sense to you, then it's not a valid comment.
Can I ask something?
Of course you can.
So, you know how in question 1 on the booklet, the quartile 3 was in between 10 and 14. So we done 14 plus 10 divided by 2 to get 12. How come we haven't done that on this one? On the on the past paper question, like 47 plus 42 divided by 2.
Because there's 9 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Because there's 9 numbers in question A.
Right.
So your quartile range would split 2 of those figures.
Right. That's the only bit that I'm struggling to get is like how many numbers, like what that determines.
So
with
if it's even, so if it's an even amount of numbers, you'll have an equal amount of numbers to the right and to the left, so you'll find yourself right in the middle of two numbers.
Mm-hmm.
It's even overall, all right, so you'll find yourself in the middle of two numbers for your median. But your quartiles, your Q1 and Q3 will be bang on. If it's odd, then you'll be bang on in the middle, but you'll be in between numbers for Q1 and Q3
Right, okay.
in a very roundabout way. On average, the readers are older, the readers are more varied. All right, so that just mentions one, but that's enough.
See, it's the board. Is that, I don't get how it's being, it's just like. Is that age name, age seven?
Yeah, no, so if the number's bigger, then the range of ages is further spread out. So instead of the spread there going from 31 to 55, okay, the spread for the newspaper could go from 22 to 70. All right, so that indicates how wide the age gap is. All right. Right, there's another question somewhere. Right, have a wee bash at that. All right, have a wee bash at that one yourselves, all right, for 5 minutes. So take up to 7 o'clock. All right, 10 couples given a score, blah, 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 blah. Oh, it's asking for the semi-interquartile range. So this is 2015 past paper. Okay, very quickly then, guys, we'll just put them in order. Okay, so the first one you've got is 12, goes to 16, 17, 18, 18, oops, 21, 22, 21, 22, 26, 27, 27. Okay, so that's all the scores in numerical order. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, just a double check, I've got the right number. So the median is 5 on the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got 5 numbers to my right hand side and 5 numbers to my left. Okay, so bang in the middle. So that's my median or my Q2. Okay, and to find that, by 18 plus 21 divided by 2, so 39 divided by 2 is 19.5. So far, so good. I've
Yeah.
got five numbers to my left. Okay, the number right in the middle, 17, Q1. 5 numbers to my right in the middle is my 26. Q3. So my interquartile range would be Q3 minus Q1, which would be 26 minus 17, give me 9. My semi-interquartile range It's just like interquartile range divided by 2. All right, for reasons unknown.
So I just for that one in the middle again, so I thought it was 26.5 and 16.5, because it was like,
What did you think, sorry?
rather than it being 26 and 16, I thought it was 26.5, so I thought it was in the middle, the same as making. Like, rather than actually write on something. Yeah.
In between 17 and 18 to give the 17.
I don't know, but I thought like Q1 was like in between 16 and 17, and I thought Q2 was between 26 and 27.
Aye.
I've done the rest at the time, like I managed to, I worked out mine, that was 5, but it was a lot.
Do you know, it would give you, so you wouldn't get a mark for that, but you, because you followed that process, you probably get 2 out of 3 marks overall. And then you would still allow yourself to answer the next part of the question correctly. So you're getting it, right? But do you see why it's Q1 is the number
I
17?
see that now, because you can go through either side.
Yeah.
I can see that, but when I've done it there, I'm just trying to follow like the meeting, like I wasn't looking at there, so I was just looking here.
So that's what I'm saying. So there's an even number, so there's 10 numbers there. So there's going to be, if I'm splitting it right in the middle, there's 5 on the left, 5 on the right. So your median's going to be that one that you pick 2 numbers and you find the middle bit. Whereas the Q1 and Q3 are going to land on numbers 5 on. Does that make sense, Richard? Are you
No, all good. Thanks.
all good?
Yep.
Good man. Okay. That's really, oh, sorry, other than the explanation, which is just comparing them. Okay, so on average, the second round scores are higher, all right? That word average means you're using the median, all right? So they've not mentioned the median, it might throw you off, okay? But you could say the second round's median is higher, okay? Or on average, the second round is higher, it works for us as well, okay? Because the median is a type of average. Okay. The second round scores are more consistent. Okay, remember that semi-interquartile range shows the variability of it. So the higher the score, the more varied it is. Okay, the more spread out the scores were. Okay. Okay. So they can ask it 2 ways. That's one way they can ask it, and the second way isn't quite either. Right.
Because I was like,
It's another way of working out the average, which is called the mean. You might have heard of the mean. That's what springs to mind.
yeah.
The mean is more commonly what we mean by when we say average. Okay, so we add all the numbers up. Divide. By the sample size. Okay, so 10, 12, 12, 13, 16, 16. All right, the mean. Okay, that's what it is. The mean is just all of them added together. Okay, divided by how many there are? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 22, 34, 47, 53, 63, 69, 79 divided by 6 is something I can't do in my head. 13.2, all right? In this case, the mean will sometimes give you a decimal. All right, so it's a slightly different way of viewing the average.
That was a calculator problem.
Not necessarily, you could just, it might give you a slightly better number still. All right, so mean. So the mean usually comes with something called standard deviation. All right. Standard deviation comes with a formula. That looks a lot worse than it is.
Maybe I could just go to the
That's given.
Was that wee line meant to be there across, like above the second X?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So let's break these symbols down a wee bit. This symbol just means, oh, there's no right word, just. Sum of. That means we add them all together, and I'll show you, I'll tell you that in a minute, okay? X is just a sample number, all right? X bar is the mean. And N is number of, what's it, variables. So the number of numbers, the number of variables in question, I suppose. All right, so that's the number of variables in the sample. All right, so the last example, that would have been 10. All right, so it's 10 numbers in. Now, when you do this, the standard deviation is looking for the variability again. All right, so the median looks at the average, the interquartile range looks at the variability. The mean looks at the average, the standard deviation looks at variability. All right, so that's the two ways you can ask these questions. Let's put this into an example so you don't need to worry about it. Okay. Numbers 2, 3, 9, 6, 5. Find the mean. And it usually asks you in the exam to find the mean first and then the standard deviation. So the mean is just all them added together. So 2 plus 3 plus 9 plus 6 plus 5. In this instance, we don't need to numerically set them out, so it's a little bit easier in that case. And 5 is just the amount of numbers of that. All right, there's 5 numbers. So in this case, 5, 10, 16, 25, so that'd be 25 over 5. The mean is 5. Okay. Then you get asked to find standard deviation. Now to do this, you set up a little table. All right. So X is your first column. X minus X bar is your second column. And X minus X bar squared is your third column. X is just the numbers. So you're literally just putting in that column the numbers 2, 3, 9, 6, 5. X minus X bar. Well, X bar is the mean, so you just worked out the mean. All right, so the mean is 5. You have 2 minus 5. Give you negative 3. There's 3 minus 5. To give you negative 2. Then 9 minus 5. To give you 4. 6 minus 5. 1. 5 minus 5. Give you 0. X minus X bar squared. It's just what you've just found out, squared. Minus 3 squared, 9. Minus 2 squared, 4. 4 squared, 16. 1 squared, 1. 0 squared, 0.
See, when you're writing it under column X, do you just put it in the original form, not like in the order of numbers, numerical order?
Doesn't have to be in the numerical order.
Okay.
All right. Doesn't have to be.
See, any point to write out the standard deviation actual formula is
Yep.
absolutely right.
So what this does is it builds up the sum of these numbers and then it makes it easier to substitute in. So what we're trying to establish here is the total of those numbers. So the sum of those numbers. So at this point, you then go sum of X minus X bar squared. All right, now that's taken from the formula. And then you're just adding these numbers up. So 9 plus 4 is 13, plus 16 is 29, plus 1 is 30. That goes into your formula. Okay. So we're going to take that sum of X minus X bar squared equals 30, and we're going to put it in to our formula. So our standard deviation formula, as given, is a root over X minus X bar squared, sum of that over N minus 1. We've just found out that top 30. All right, that's what we found out here. This number. That just gets put in this place. Divided by n, well, the sample number, so n, remember, is the amount of numbers. So we've got 5 numbers, minus 1. Don't ask me the mathematical reason why we're taking away 1, but we do it, okay.
Ends it might not be with us.
Yeah. Maybe. Two years ago, calculate mean 4 marks. And then two to compare. 6 marks in total. It's over 10% of your paper. Try that. Guys, take let's say 10 minutes, okay? Take 10 minutes to try that and then take a 10-minute break. Okay, so we'll come back together at 22:08. Okay, guys, since we're on the past papers and we got on okay with the last question, let's just try 2018 paper 2. A wee bit more.